Daniel in the Lion's Den, a story of faith and protection. In a world filled with challenges, fear, and uncertainty, one ancient story still shines with unshakable hope. The story of Daniel in the Lion's Den. It is not simply a tale of survival. It is a testimony of God's power to protect those who choose faith over fear, obedience over compromise, and prayer over silence. Daniel was a man of integrity, known for his wisdom and his unwavering devotion to God. He lived in Babylon, far from his homeland, serving under King Darius. Daniel's honesty and discipline were so remarkable that the king planned to put him in charge of the entire kingdom. But envy is a dangerous seed. The other officials could not stand his success, so they conspired against him. They convinced the king to sign a law forbidding anyone to pray to any god or human, except the king himself for 30 days. Whoever disobeyed would be thrown into the den of lions. Daniel knew the decree, he knew the danger. But he also knew something greater. The God of heaven was worthy of his faithfulness. So as he had always done, he went to his room, opened his window toward Jerusalem, and prayed 3 times a day. His enemies were watching, waiting for this very moment. They rushed to the king, accusing Daniel of defying the law. The king, distressed but bound by his own decree, ordered that Daniel be thrown into the den of lions. Imagine the scene. A stone rolled across the entrance. Hungry lions paced in the shadows. Soldiers sealed the den. To human eyes, Daniel's fate was sealed. But heaven had other plans. In the silence of that night, when teeth and claws should have meant death, the angel of the Lord appeared. The lions' mouths were shut. Their hunger vanished. Daniel stood untouched, protected by the God who never abandons his children. At dawn, the anxious king rushed to the den and cried out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" From the darkness came a voice filled with peace. "My God sent his angel and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed. Daniel was lifted from the den without a single scratch. His enemies who had plotted against him were thrown in, and the lions devoured them instantly. This story is not only about Daniel, it is about us. Each of us faces lions, fear, injustice, temptation, or doubt. At times it feels like the world is closing in, sealing us in a den of hopelessness. But just as God was with Daniel, he is with us. His protection may not always look like a miracle that shuts the jaws of beasts, but it is always real, always powerful, always enough. When you stand firm in faith, heaven moves. When you choose prayer over fear, angels are sent to guard you. When you live with integrity, God's light shines through you. Daniel's courage calls us to examine our own faith. Are we willing to stand firm when the crowd pressures us to bow? Are we bold enough to pray openly when silence feels safer? The lion's den was meant to be Daniel's grave, but instead it became the stage for God's glory. Your trials too can become testimonies when you trust in the Lord. So remember, God honors those who honor him. Even in the darkest pit, even in the fiercest storm, his presence surrounds you. You may feel weak, but his power is greater than the enemy's roar. Stand firm, pray faithfully, believe deeply, for the same God who rescued Daniel still reigns today. If this story has inspired you, don't let it stop here. Join us in exploring more powerful biblical truths that remind us of God's love, his protection, and his unshakable promises. Subscribe now to Biblical Facts and let your faith grow stronger with every story, because the God who shut the lions' mouths is the same God who walks with you today.